Welcome to Mailchimp versus MailerLite. I've used Mailchimp for absolutely years. I'm going to just run through the 4 points that we want to look at in our experiment around which one could be better for your audiences, Mailchimp or MailerLite. So we're looking at user experience, particularly around creating emails. We're looking at segmentation, so how we can kind of group emails audiences up to make them more targeted. We're looking at reporting, obviously, so we can monitor the performance, and we're also looking at automation, so super important, particularly to kind of onboard new subscribers and to re-engage subscribers. So just a quick view of the drag and drop editor in Mailchimp. So we go to create email, regular email. I'm going to call this test. Takes a little while to load. And the thing about the Mailchimp editor versus MailerLite is it's not sort of truly drag and drop. As I'll show you, you have to kind of start with a template. They're very easy to manipulate once you've started with a template, and you can create your own as well. But it's not quite as DIY as the MailerLite version. So I think, having used the two, I love the familiarity of Mailchimp, but I think my preference is the MailerLite editor. So if we look at just taking a basic 1-column template here, and you can see on the right hand side there's all these different options for blocks. So you've got text, box text, dividers, social follows, shares. You can add in code, you can add in videos, different footers. So that's all the options that you've got in Mailchimp. And then I'm just going to switch across to the MailerLite drag and drop editor. Here's one I started earlier. And let's have a look at creating some content. So I've just set up the campaign. So you can see I've got a template in here already, but I'm just going to start from scratch to show you the drag and drop editor. So you can see you start with nothing, and you can choose drag and drop editor like this. And when it loads, I will be able to show you all the different content block options that you've got to manipulate. So if you can see on the left hand side here, these are all the different types of blocks. So I think you've just got a lot more choice in here. So you can see there's some in here already, like the header. So I suppose you do kind of start with a bit of a template, but you can delete those all out. So you can put in a header. You can choose some of the ones that I really like, that you'll see I've started to use in my emails are like these ones. Features, where you can change these little icons and change the text. Lots of really nice ones with an image plus a button plus some text. So it's really easy to kind of just create a different layout. So I really like that on the editor. So let's go on to segmentation. So let's just go back to the main menu on Mailchimp. Segmentation. So we want to go into audiences. Let's go to the audience dashboard. With audiences with Mailchimp, you can set up a number of audiences. So if you go to manage audience and view audiences, when it loads, you can see you've got the opportunity to create audience. So I've got one in there already, but I could add other audiences. Then you've also got tags. So you can set up tags within your audience. So you might have a tag for, where someone heard about you, for example, which sign-up form they used to join your mailing list. And then you can also segment. So you might segment based on one of their kind of characteristics, but one of the most popular things to do is to segment based on how often they're engaging with you, to see if they need to go on a re-engagement journey or not. So you get a few more options. In Mailchimp, you don't get as many options. around how you can group your audiences. So I'll just show you quickly. I feel like I need some sort of sound for loading, like some sort of spinning wheel that comes up on my face or something. So yeah, we want to go, let's just go done editing on that. Get into audiences. So subscribers, it is in Mailchimp. So you can see here you have got subscribers. You can put your subscribers into groups, which I guess is kind of like audiences, but you can't then tag within those groups. So you can see I've got one group set up, sort of, you know, relatively small audience at the minute, but it's growing. And you can do the same sort of segmentation. So you can create a segment and you can start choosing, you know, when someone last engaged and start to think about re-engagement and other options like that. So you do it through filters on here. I'm not going into super detail because I know you don't want to watch me for hours. But yeah, you just get one less option for sort of segmenting your audience. So anyway, moving on. Reporting. So let's have a look at reporting. So actually, Mailchimp have just launched some really nice new reporting stuff. So if you go into email analytics, so you can see now you get a cross section across your email campaign. So you can set your time frame, and it shows you all of your kind of performance across that time frame, and you get that sort of plotted on a graph as well. And then you also get a list underneath of what those sort of metrics are. So and you can export it as well as a CSV. So I think that is a super useful addition to Mailchimp's reporting. MailerLite, I quite like. They've got a good dashboard. I think the Mailchimp dashboard is dynamic, so it shows you different things depending on what it thinks you need. And then the reporting's more in the kind of sub menu, whereas Mailchimp, most of it you see on this kind of dashboard homepage. As you can see, as you scroll down, it's got a really nice kind of basic kind of overview of the campaigns that you've sent here, also of your automations and your forms. But then you can get, I haven't sent any emails from this, so I can't show you the actual email report, but I can show you in automations, which we're going to come on to anyway. Once you've got an automation set up, you can click overview. I believe you can do this on campaigns as well, and you get this overview report that gives you the basic stats that you're looking for. So yeah, I think the MailerLite reporting is a lot more simple. You get a bit more detail with Mailchimp, but you get all the kind of basics with MailerLite. Then automations, I think Mailchimp far outperforms MailerLite on this. So their automations area is super nice. They've just added an overview, so you get a bit of a homepage for automations with lots of different options. And the thing I really like that they've got is pre-built journeys. So you get a pre-built welcome journey and a pre-built, I'm all about the re-engagement journeys at the moment. So here we go. Here's a good example. Unengaged contacts who want to unsubscribe. So you can see that this journey is already sort of set up for you, and you can sort of scroll through it like that. You've got the two options about how the contact exits. And you can sort of use that. Whereas when you go into automations on MailerLite, it's all DIY. So if you click new automation, give it a name, start building, then you get here what's the workflow trigger when a subscriber joins a group, and then you can choose your group. And then save it, and then start adding another option from here. So that's great. It's a good, it really makes sense as a workflow builder, and it's all DIY, but it is really nice in Mailchimp to have some of those sort of pre-built journeys, especially if you're not used to building automations. So that's about it for our comparison. That's been quite a long video, but I will try and see if I can cut that down for you. If you've got questions about any of the how-to stuff that I've talked about today, then feel free to email me using the button below. And next time we'll be looking at like a price and function comparison between the two.